On this episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup, it's only 6 days away from the NFL draft. How do we get you guys prepared? Well, we're doing back-to-back, head-to-head mock drafts. You guys got to choose the winner. Plus, we'll just get your thoughts on what you feel about the draft as it's so dang close. All that and more, we're going to get going on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Let's go. Well, welcome in, everybody. It's a Friday night. It's the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We're sponsored by the amazing Morgan Trinkets. And I got my good friend here, Mr. Trevor Rocket Man Salzman, along for the ride. Man, it's only 6 days away from the draft. I want to know how you feel. I want to get Trevor's thoughts first. I'll give you mine. I don't know, man. I'm nervous. I'm excited. My hands are sweaty. Trevor, how you feeling about this as we head into the draft, man? Just 6 days away, man.
I'm ready to get it started. It feels like we've been talking about it for a long time, but honestly, Keith, it's my favorite time of the year. I love the offseason. I love it for many reasons, and the biggest reason for me is I like to see what all 32 teams around the NFL are thinking. They, different GMs, different head coaches all have different minds when you're thinking about what player to pick. Does it fit their system and whatnot? So I just like to see that all kind of come together and see how it turns out, because we've been speculating for a long time, but we're finally going to get answers here on Thursday night.
Oh man, like I said, man, you said that, and I think my stomach flip-flopped a little bit, man. The nerves went right up to the top, man. You know the feeling. It's like going off the roller coaster. Right now, I feel like I'm going chug, chug, chug up that hill. I feel like I'm dang near at the top. I'm ready to take that plunge. I'm ready to go ahead and ride this roller coaster. It's going to be one heck of a ride. By the way, if you didn't notice, over on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network YouTube page or on our Facebook page, you should find a way. I think I might have put it out there on X as well. 3 full days worth of coverage. 3 full days worth of coverage of the NFL draft. We got you all taken care of. I want you guys to stick around because we've got some prizes, some giveaways. I might tease that near the end of the show as well. Some special guests that might be lined up. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait for the draft. But right now, chug, chug, chug up the hill. My nerves are just churning in my stomach. I'm ready, Trevor. I'm ready.
Absolutely. And it's going to be our draft show, Keith. Just kind of plug it. It's 3 full days. 3 full days of coverage. So like, share, subscribe, and support us, because we're all here for you guys, every single pick, and giving you guys our analysis on every player, every pick, the best we possibly can. And we do truly would appreciate the support. We put in the work ahead of time, all the prep work ahead of time. So really would appreciate everybody who joined in and share and out there for us.
Yeah, not only great analysis, great coverage, the Broncos spin on it a little bit, but we're going to be, looking at all these different teams. You were just talking. It's fun to go through, look at these coaches, these GMs, and try to figure out what they're thinking about, you know what I mean? Howie Roseman, a great example, it's like there is a guy that knows how to draft. The Philadelphia Eagles have done a fantastic job, and they tend to have trends as a GM. Do they continue those trends? Where do they need to fortify? What does the coach want? It's all wrapped into one. We'll be talking, obviously, George Payton, Sean Payton, this Denver Broncos team. It's going to be a heck of a run. It's going to be a great time too, man. We're going to have a lot of fun all along the way. So got some great friends joining in. Just got to say hello. Paul was Schaefer was in here giving us a bad time early. He says, "Is this real life?" Yeah, this is real life, man. We're here. We're ready to get it going, and glad you're along for the ride, sir. Ernie May is coming in saying, "Go Broncos country only." Bo Nix for 6. Hello, Keith and friends. He's also saying, "Watch Genty to the Broncos first pick." Whew. Well, guess what, Ernie? You might have that opportunity. We're going to be doing back-to-back drafts here. I told Trevor, he set all these wild parameters of what we're going to be doing. So he gets to go through it first. He gets to chug through it. We're going to be doing trades. We're going to do every single round. We're going to make sure that, well, hey, you're running the show. You're running the draft room right there. It's going to be a heck of a good time. And I can't wait for Trevor to be on the clock first so I can try to best him and see who is the best. Trading up to top 5. Let's go. Ha ha ha. Just kidding, says Graham. You never know. You never know. Our good friend and fellow horseman, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Our gentleman. Good Friday evening and Good Friday to all who celebrate Good Friday each year. Yeah, we are right there on the precipice of Easter. It's right around the corner. I can't believe it. It snuck up on me this year, even though it's a little bit later in the spring. Just a couple more, and I'm going to get your thoughts, and then we'll jump into some of these drafts, man. Like I said, it's going to maybe take a little while. Good evening, Keith and the Rocket Man. How many defensive players do you think we draft? We'll be able to find out in our own personal draft, but if you had to put a number, then Trevor, and by the way, thank you so much for the stars, Phil, jumping in with the questions, the thoughts, and the support. But if you had to put a number on how many defensive players you think that George Paton, the Sean Payton, and the draft room come out with at the end of this draft, how many do you think you got, buddy?
I'm going to say at least 3. And I'll even do one better, Keith. I'm going to name the positions. Defensive line, which I think is actually higher on the Broncos' wish list than what maybe some think. Cornerback, I think they've been looking at cornerbacks as well. I wouldn't say high, but I would say middle round probably. And I think inside linebacker, and that's something they're always looking at. You have Drew Sanders, but you don't know what you have in him until he plays a full season. So you're going to have to reinvest in that at some point in time. I know you got Dre Greenlaw and all that. I get that, but that's not long term. You'd like to be able to draft that if you possibly can. So those are 3 positions that I think that they're at least looking at to possibly draft in this coming up draft.
And I tell you what, if you've been listening to Sean Payton, man, he dropped it again right there when down there in Indianapolis as they get ready and they're putting in their final pieces and parts, man. Him and George Paton, they sit down, they have their little media questionnaires, and he's out there pounding the table saying one of the best ways we can help this Bo Nix is by helping that defense. Again, trying to flip the field, trying to make sure that, that there's more 3 and outs for that opposing team, that to where they're not getting traction. They're not, all of a sudden getting in a rhythm. There's a lot of things to be said about defense. I'll tell you what, I'll go. I don't want to be the exact same, and I'm not going to go 2, so I'll go 4. I think if anything, if it's going to go in any direction, I think I'd be more likely to hit on 4 than I would to 2. And honestly, 3 is probably the right answer. But if it's going to go any direction, I'm going to go say 4, Phil. Great question, man. It's interesting. I saw a stat come out just recently that Sean Payton has taken 10 defensive players and 7 offensive players when it comes to his first pick. So, I mean, it's just like, you just never know. And I think, honestly, he's pretty good about playing the board and the way they stack their board and making sure that they don't reach, they don't stretch. And even though Sean Payton's an offensive guy, that means sometimes you're taking a defensive player. That's how I kind of read it. How do you read it, Trevor?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're Sean Payton, you're the head coach of the football team, right? You can't just read one side of the ball. You got to be able to make sure you're getting the most talented team on paper and on the field. And so for me, I think Sean Payton values defensive line and offensive line up front, starts up front. Look what his first year in Denver, when he came to Denver, Mike McGlinchey, Ben Powers, immediately were their 2 biggest signings that they ended up bringing in. Zach Allen, defensive line, one of their biggest signings a couple years ago. They re-signed DJ Jones. I don't think they're done there. I think that if you look at Sean Payton's drafts back when he's with the Saints, he's not afraid, Keith, to reinvest in that defensive line. and he maybe even be aggressive and do so. I'm not saying they're going to trade up for defensive linemen. I'm just saying if there's one on the board at 20 that they really love, wouldn't be surprised at all if they went in that direction. What stopped this team from doing so? I want to ask that question. What stopped this team from doing so? You have the same defensive line that you had a year ago, and the same defensive line got torched by James Cook and Jonathan Taylor. Elite running backs, you got to be able to stop if you want to win at a high level.
Well, Jonathan Taylor's stats don't look that great. If you take away that big long run for a touchdown,
it's over 100
you
yards.
remember, we're all like, "Phew! Oh, thank goodness that's called back." That was the end of the game, man. Right there, it was all wrapped up for him. It was all wrapped up, and it was all on the back of Jonathan Taylor and what he was able to do in that game. And you're right, man. When you start just kind of running it back, you got to be like, well, what are we running back here? We're putting a lot of pressure on Dre Greenlaw all of a sudden to be like the difference maker in so many different ways, because let's face it, one of the things we like about Dre Greenlaw is the fact that he's sideline to sideline, and he's going to stop the run.
Yeah.
And he's going to blitz. I mean, there's only so much one person can do, you know what I mean? So you got to have some ability up front to stop the run and not just rely on your linebackers. You'd like him to be able to be freed up and out there in space. That's where he's probably better than most, especially if you give him that opportunity to have good, stout guys up on the front. Just a couple more real quick, and then we got to, like I said, we got to jump into this. So I want to just hit this one. Graham coming in here because I didn't even say it was Graham, I don't believe, but he says defensive line, linebacker, and safety, and then corrected himself. He says, oh, okay, cornerback instead of safety. So he's right in line with you if you're going 3 in a row. And yeah, he says I would be surprised to see a safety drafted also. I think that was maybe a little bit quick to the draw on the comments because he did correct himself. If we go running back, tight end, running back, I would be mad.
Wouldn't be mad.
Who wouldn't be mad? Is that what you said?
Well, that's what he said. He said if we go running back, tight end, running back, I wouldn't be mad.
Oh, wouldn't be mad. Oh, he wouldn't be mad. I tell you what, Paul, I don't know if I'd be jumping for joy though either. It depends, but once again, it depends on how this board falls and what you're doing and how you're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and not to be left out, our fourth horseman need to get Nick's weapons. Well, that's your if you're listening to your horseman, then that's your that's your directions, I guess. I have a feeling you're not going to just listen to Trevor. You're not going to listen to Kenny. You're probably not going to listen to me because I'm going to go ahead and try to sabotage you because you're up first, my friend. We're going to go ahead and do a mock draft. Guys, if you haven't checked this one out, this is an ESPN mock draft. And man, is it super clean. Look at this. There's no pop-ups. We ain't doing anything crazy in here. We're going to go super slow speed. We're going to go all 7 rounds. And the 20th pick in the draft, the Denver Broncos right there. I think we're ready to get this started. You ready to load this draft, sir?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Now, again, we're going to have trade possibilities. We're going to basically be pausing this draft as much as we possibly can. And it loads up here in a second. Hopefully I can
start draft right there. There we go.
Start draft. And Cam Ward goes number 1. Is there a particular spot that you're going to be looking that we should pause at, or is there a particular player that you're hoping for? You just let me know, sir.
Yeah, for me, I just don't see Denver moving up. I just don't. I know that it's like some people do, but it's like you got to think about what it's going to take to give up in order to move up. There's a price for everything. So for me, Keith, I'm honestly probably just okay with you just simming to 20 and just see what happens. That's right, I think that's my mindset anyways.
Well, this is on a slow one. We'll go ahead and see how quick this thing is. Shadur, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham. I'll pause it in groups. How's that? Jaguars are on the clock at 5. Travis Hunter finally goes. Armand Membo, Ashton Genty finally to the Jets.
Wow.
All right. Continue, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Next little round. Jalen Walker, Tyler Warren, Will Johnson, Will Campbell, and Tet McMillan goes at number 12 to the Cowboys.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think you're really moving up for anybody unless you're in love with Colson Loveland. But I don't think it at this point. I mean, you can agree to disagree with me, Keith, or disagree with me just in general. I just
Yeah.
don't think that right now. I mean, if this is how the board drops, unless you're in love with one of the running backs or Colson Loveland, I don't really see why you need to move up here. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, I think Colston Loveland should fall. He might get past the Colts. He might not. And Travion Henderson is the next guy I'm looking at. He might get past the Seahawks. He may not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll continue the draft, and we'll see where we end up, sir.
Okay. Kevin Banks.
Kelvin Banks, Tylen Booker. There's your Colston Loveland, Michael Williams, Nick Amanawore.
They're
To the Bengals.
they're the Falcons. There goes the Falcons again, taking another playmaker in the first round. Not going defense, going playmaker.
Oh boy, could you imagine?
Oh,
Yeah, there's a few in here. Shador, I don't. Well, I mean, yeah, not Shador, but Travis Hunter, all the way to 5 to the Jaguars. I'm like, whew, that would be something. That would shake up this draft.
Yeah.
All right, man. Continue on. No trades here at with the Seahawks. I take it. We'll get on to the Broncos here.
Okay.
Jahdae Barron.
Ooh, looks like who ended up going right before Keith? I missed it.
It's tough to say, and I don't think I can. I don't think I can close out. I don't want to close out my pick. I don't know what to do. What that does if I close it out.
I think it should still be able to pop it up if you.
Okay.
Make pick right there.
Make a draft. So you had Jihad Campbell, linebacker, went to, and that's probably very realistic there. I like that pick there for the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Where would you like to go? Are you trading out of this pick?
Can I see the board really quick?
Yeah, sure. This is the big board right here. Amarian Hampton, James Pierce Jr., Shamar Stewart, Mike Green, Derek Harmon.
Matthew Golden, Walter Nolan,
Maxwell Harrison.
I mean, this is what I mean though by like edge rushers still on the board. You have Shamar Stewart, James Pierce still on the board at 20. If a team, and even Mike Green, if a team needs an edge rusher, perfect time to go up and trade for one because they're going to probably, some of these guys are going to be off the board. So, let's see, because you could take Hampton here. I don't know. See if this could be a little bit of a discussion, Keith. For me, I'm just not in love with Hampton enough to take him at 20. I don't know how you feel about him. I think he's a first round talent. 20 is a little rich for me.
I have currently in my rankings that I continue to plug away at. I have Amarian Hampton as my number 4 running back.
Okay. So to answer that question.
Yep.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah, seriously. There's no more offensive linemen on the board, huh?
Let's see. We go offensive tackle. We have Josh Simmons, Josh Connerly. Those are your top 2 there. If we look at center guard, Gray Zabel.
Yeah. This one has them ranked a little low. Let's go to. Can you exit out of that and scroll down a little bit because I need to see what team so I can see what team may trade up for an edge rusher or not.
Yeah.
Before we.
So you got the Steelers, Chargers, obviously,
but you're not trading division.
Yep.
Minnesota, Houston,
Packers could possibly use a little something there.
Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore,
Ravens.
maybe.
Yeah, but Ravens, pretty loaded team to be trading up. Lions would probably be the most likely scenario, if they were really in love with somebody.
Yeah.
Put opposite of Hutchinson, who's coming back. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I don't want to, because my thing is sticking and picking here, you might be reaching for somebody anyways.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So if I could trade back and still get the player I want, that's really good value. And I'm huge. Kenny, and this, Keith. I'm big about getting a day 2 pick. Okay, let's go to the Lions. Let's see what the Lions would offer up here. We'll offer up 20. We'll make it somewhat realistic because it doesn't look like the offers are up. But see.
Get the Detroit Lions on the clock here. You're giving up the 20th pick, and in return, you want
28.
28.
Yeah, 28 and probably 102, I would say at least. and then give them like what we got, a fourth in here. Probably give them one of those 6-rounders.
So we got
191,
191, 197, 208.
191 probably. This trade is lopsided. That's what it says. Let's see here. Try to make it fair. Okay, give him a fourth. Give him the 122. So maybe it'll be less lopsided. I don't know what they're saying lopsided is, but
Let's see. They're saying it's lopsided in our favor at that point. They're saying they need to kick more in if we do 20 and 191 for 28 and 1.
Oh, okay.
Now you want to be realistic, man. Be realistic as you think that this should be.
Yeah.
If that's the case, if you think this is right, if not, they're when I kicked in the 130, they're pulling it off as far as.
That's fine. Let's do that then. That's fine. It's still getting a really good value back.
Okay, trade away.
Trade away.
Lions accepted your trade. Lions took Kenneth Grant, Shamar Stewart, Walter Nolan. Man, look at that run. Matthew Golden. I'll get back into here. Derek Harmon, Emeka Ibuka, Jackson Dart going to the Rams. Wow. Mike Green to the Ravens, and the Broncos are on the clock.
Who did Detroit take?
Detroit end up taking
Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant, yeah.
I like him too.
Yeah, I like the way this is going, man. I think I'm going to be able to knock the socks off of this, man. Knock the socks off.
Hampton's still on the board.
Says Hampton makes sense based on the skill set. Every down back is a massive need for this team. It will depend on how much Peyton loves the player. So we've traded back. I
got comments up here.
You feel free if you want to, man.
Yeah, Phil said trade back. I think he meant at 20. So I think Phil is in agreement with me there. Paul said you need a second rounder to move up in first. And Paul said we should have gone wide receiver. Messed up. Well, what wide receiver did you want to go? There's probably still someone on the board. I don't know if maybe he meant
Ibuka and Matthew Golden though went off. If I remember right, I'm going to switch back over and so I can see. But yeah, Matthew Golden, Emeka Ibuka. I went Packers and then Texans. So
let's go to the board again.
Make a pick. Marion Hampton still sitting there. If you still love that guy, that means most wide receivers. Most running backs are going to be obviously available for you. Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson, just to name a few. That wide receiver is probably pretty thin now. Looking at Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, Luther Burden the third. Being some of the top names in that position. Defensive tackle that you let go, defensive line, TJ Sanders, Darius Alexander, Omar Norman Lott, Alfred Collins, Joshua Farmer, getting pretty deep there. Where else do you want to go, my friend? Edge?
Probably not edge.
Linebacker? Cornerback?
Best available. What's best available?
Best available, regardless of position. Maxwell Harrison after we go James Pierce and Donovan Azukaraku. I always say that, probably saying that wrong.
I'm thinking running back here. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards. I'm just leaning towards Henderson or Hampton. That's the only Hampton still being here is really surprising to me. Malachi Stark's still there too. Wow.
The safety need you don't have.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's a guy that can play up in the box and be that almost linebacker-ish type of role, like in a dime or a heavy nickel type of situation too. It's something that if you wanted to play him around a little bit.
I'm still thinking running back. If you trade back and those two are on the board, that's actually not too bad a position in my opinion. You have pick of the crop there, possibly second best running back in this draft class with a lot of upside. Man, I'm going to go Trevon Henderson. I know Hampton's sitting right there, and I know Paul's saying Hampton. I don't know. The posse loves Hampton. I'm not huge on Hampton. Keith, you sound like you're not either.
I'm not trying to influence your draft. I might be changed. I'm just changed my draft board, and Hampton's my number one guy in the draft over Genty. By the way,
sure.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sure. That's believable. This isn't decision. It's like picking chicken nuggets or chicken strips. I'm gonna go. Hmm. I'm gonna go Henderson still. I still like Trevion Henderson over Hampton.
All right. Travion Henderson. Final pick.
Yep.
The envelope is in his hands. We're drafting Travion Henderson with our first pick in Trevor's draft. What was that? The 28th pick overall as we end up trading back. And it again, if you I'll pause this for just a second, just see how this ended up. Josh Connolly Jr. to the Commanders, Maxwell Harrison to the Bills. Chiefs end up picking Donovan Azaraku. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amarian Hampton ends up going to the Eagles. Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Josh Simmons to the Browns. Giants get Donovan Jackson. And just let me know, are you interested in trading up in this second round now that you've made one big trade already, trading back?
Yeah, I think we can sim a little bit more. Or not
Okay.
simulator,
Yeah.
whatever. Like Malachi Starks to the Raiders. Wow. Judkins to the Bears.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Luther
Luther Burden to the Jets. Whew. 49ers get Gray Zabel. That's a big name. Oh, and here you are. It's your pick, sir. Let's take a look at the board, just see how any other names that kind of came off that we wanted to. Alfred Collins to the Cowboys as a defensive tackle. Interesting. Mason Taylor to the Bears. That's a big one. After they also get Quinshon Judkins. Saints get James Pierce Jr. They're stacking up on that defense. Going away from the offense, and the Broncos are on the clock. Darius Alexander just went right before us. TJ Sanders, another defensive tackle to the Dolphins.
Yeah, let me see. What's the board look like?
All right. Jaden Higgins, Trey Amos going quarterback. Tyler Shaw is here. Elijah Rojo.
Okay. What's the defensive line just went? A lot of them went off, didn't they?
Yeah, you had a big run with two of them going right there back to back with the Dolphins and the I forget who else picked up one. So
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
Oh, I like Tyler Williams there too. That's great value right there. I think he's a back in the first round talent. They're a little low on him right here, in my opinion.
I agree, man. I was doing looking over at my draft value board here that I'm stacking over here. So
what's the tight ends look like?
Yeah, let's take a look. Tight ends, trying to see if we can get those weapons for Bo Nix, Elijah Arroyo, Terrence Ferguson, Gunnar Helm, Harold Fannin Jr. Then we start getting into Jackson Hawes and Mitchell Evans.
Wide receiver.
Receiver, he says. Please. Trying to find that weapon, trying to find more weapons.
Well, like
Jaden Higgins. Yeah. Wide receiver Trey Harris, Zach Beck, Jalen Royals, if you like that Utah State product. Isaiah Bond out of Texas.
How many what's our next pick after this, Keith, if you don't mind?
Let's see.
I don't know if you got to scroll down. Oh, there you go.
51, 85, 102, 122, 130. Man, you got a big run right there, and 157. So I mean, you like own that, like what, 50 picks? You got like 4 within 50 almost.
Yeah. Let's look at wide receiver again, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, all of a sudden I thought I saw make a pick, and I thought I made a big mistake there for a second.
I like Jaden Higgins here. I think I've been high on this guy for a long time. You get Bo Nix, another playmaker. I was back and forth defensive line chat, and in my mind, I want to explain to the chat, Keith, what I was thinking here. Yeah. It's wide receivers. I was thinking tight end. I still do like Terrence Ferguson, and then I also do like defensive lineman. Tyler Williams was huge for me. And Peter, stay tuned because I still might. But I'm going to go wide receiver here. Jaden Higgins, to me, Keith, he's a big time wide receiver, big body wide receiver. He can go up and get the ball. I think he adds more competition to that wide receiver room. Need another rookie deal, and I just think him and Cortland Sutton together, Marvin Mims. Now you add Trayvon Henderson. Talk about playmakers for Bo Nix. There you go.
Mm. Final answer, I guess you could
Yep.
say.
Jaden Higgins.
Jaden Higgins. He's taking him off the board. Man, loading up on those weapons for Bo Nix, man. If you're gonna get your 3 total defensive guys, man, you'll have to start looking that direction too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. Well, of course, now you've traded back. You got some opportunities here. So, just checking in on the comments real quick. I wanted to make sure here real quick.
Keith,
So,
you're Simmons still. You're Simmons still.
oh, sorry, man. Pause. He says, all right.
I was gonna
Seahawks.
trade up.
Tyreek Tyreek. He's gone right there to the Buccaneers. Just 2 picks later. Cornerback Trey Amos is gone. Nick Scourton, edge, goes to the Chargers. A need for them for sure. Caleb Johnson to the Texans, getting a little bit of a running back upgrade, and the Ravens get Elijah Arroyo. Sorry, man. I'm gonna Trey Harris to the Lions, getting some additional wide receiver help there for the Lions. Maybe thinking Tim Patrick needs to be moved on from. I did just want to say real quick that Michael Ronquillo is coming in here. By the way, if I remember right, I saw it on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. 9-month star giver.
Wow.
9-month consecutive star giver. Clap it up for Michael Ronquillo. He's dropping stars here again tonight. Thank you, Michael Ronquillo. Appreciation for the support and the love. And I'm going to look for some appreciation, some support, and some love maybe if we go out there and, do a mock draft for Keith, and maybe you could help me out a little bit. And, with 1,000 stars, you almost deserve a pick here in the draft. But appreciate you so much, Michael. And congratulations on your 9-month anniversary, giving stars to us, man. It's a congratulations to us more than it's a congratulations to you for sure, man. All right, man. Are you ready to continue this draft then?
Let me look at the big board really quick. I was going to trade up for Tyreek Williams, but they took him.
All right, man.
Run that there was a real good run. I like Tyreek Williams a lot. Kind of regret that now.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's all good. Let's see here. Terrence Ferguson. If you want the tight end, he's one of my favorites. Let's call the Commanders, Keith.
Let's call the Commanders, he says. Oops. Calling up the Commanders. All right.
85 and 61.
85, 61.
Probably, let's see, 122, probably. And let's see, 208 on our side, Bronco side.
I bet they're over here with you, these guys. No,
it says Commanders won't accept your trade. What do they do?
The Commanders won't accept your trade.
Maybe 197 instead of 208. I want a little bit more value. Yeah, they're still not wanting. Yeah, of course they want 102. Maybe next year we could throw in a little bit of next year's. What about a fourth next year? And maybe 208. This series is lopsided. Okay, fourth, and 208. Let's see. There we go. Move up. We're moving up.
Moving on up. All right, here it is, man. The trade has been submitted, and Denver Broncos are on the clock. Where are you going, sir?
Let's go look at defensive tackle again. You like Walker there too. Best available, Keith, too, by the way, if you would, please.
Yes, sir. Here we are.
I like a lot there too. The defensive tackle. Looks like Ferguson's down the board a little bit too, huh?
Terrence Ferguson,
78. Ooh, man, you really need a tight end to develop. I still think you have to invest in defensive on the defensive line a little bit too. Let's go Omar Norman Lott, the defense tackle out of Tennessee. I missed on
Oh,
Tyreek Williams, and I should have taken him earlier. But let's get our defensive tackle.
making up for missed opportunities. Omar Norman Lott, you like him out of Tennessee? What do you think is his best traits, just off the top?
Yeah, I do. I do like him, Keith. And when I say like they need to the Broncos need to upgrade the defensive line, I'm not saying just to get after the quarterback. I'm saying you need size. You need somebody up in the middle and someone who can be able to stop the run and be a run stopper. I mean, you need size there, and I just think you're going to be able to get that there. And you have to, in my opinion, address the defensive line because are you going to rely on Wazirike? I mean, if you get an injury or, guys are subbing in and out, DJ Jones is, and Malcolm Roach, I know as good as those guys are, they're subbing out left and right. You need fresh bodies in there. You need as many players on the defensive line to throw at teams as you can possibly get. And you just add another one in this draft on top of getting playmakers for Bo Nix.
All right. Just kind of run the board after that. Bills got Jared Ivey, Jalen Lane to the Chiefs, Terrence Ferguson, Eagles tight end. Giants get Marcus Embo, and Harold Fannin Jr. goes to the Chiefs, man. So hopefully you have a tight end that you still want to develop. I'll continue the draft here. I don't think that we're too far off, are we? It might be a while.
Yeah.
We'll continue this draft. So let me know if you're like starting to see a little bit of a run since we've seen Elick A. Manor and Isaiah Bond go. Defensive tackle went, as well as center guard. So we'll continue on here real quick. Jalen Royals, Ty Robinson, Deion Walker just went.
Yeah, we
Charles
have like
Grant.
little to no picks to move unless we're going to move picks next year.
Yeah,
with that big trade up.
Jalen Milroe to the Steelers.
Wow,
how do you feel about that one?
That's a quarterback for Tomlin to develop. Something he
Yep.
hasn't had in a long time. I mean, I think at some point in time you have to be able to develop a quarterback.
Rams get Jack Beck. I'm sorry. CJ West to the Saints. Man, they continue to upgrade that defense. Quincy Riley to the Browns, getting a little bit of cornerback help there. Joshua Farmer to the Giants, and here you are on the draft board. Anything you need to look back at as we kind of went through that draft? Or are you ready to pick, sir?
I think we're ready to pick here.
Pick or trade.
Let's see what's on the board. Shamar Stewart's still there. Wow.
Gunnar Helm and
Jody's boy.
Cam Scatabo, Devin Neal,
DJ Giddens.
If you're looking for Demetrius Knight.
Yeah, I know.
Jordan James, Will Howard, if you're looking for that quarterback, buddy.
Yeah, definitely looking for that.
Jack Sawyer, Savion Williams.
Yeah, I'd like Savion Williams too. Maybe we went a little too high on the wide receivers.
Savion Jones, Chris Ball Jr. if you're looking for that linebacker.
Yeah. There's some gems still on the board. I'm surprised you got
Dylan Sampson. I skipped over Dylan Sampson. A lot of people like Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee.
I do too. I just don't know if you want to take two running backs now. Maybe down in the 6th round or something later on. You still kind of have a couple of needs there.
Right. Let's do this for you. Defensive tackle, Shamar Stewart, Jordan Phillips.
Ty Hamilton's there
Howard
too.
Cross III. That was a name. Cam Jackson. Few names up in there. If you're looking maybe edge, I don't know if you're interested in that, but
yeah, I like Princely over there. Old Miss. I like him a lot.
Maybe linebacker. I'll give you that look real quick.
Demetrius Knight's really tempting.
Chris Paul, Barrett Carter, Cody Simon.
What was best on the board again, Keith?
And if we go best board, we're looking Cam Scatabo, Dylan Sampson, Shamar Turner, Gunnar Helm, Devin Neal, Jalen Reed.
What's the tight ends look like?
And Gunnar Helm, Jackson Hawes, Mitchell Evans, Luke Lachey, Aronda Gadsden still there.
Yeah.
Name that we've talked about, Jake Bringingstall.
There's still good some
Brennan
good
School.
tight ends later in the
Brennan
draft.
School.
Still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Demetrius Knight for me. You dress inside linebacker. Is that the
Demetrius
deepest
Knight
player?
is coming. Yeah, Phil's right in there in agreement. He's loving it. So here we are, man. Demetrius Knight being picked up. Man, what just a absolute just firecracker, engine always going, leader, captain, great character. And to be honest, the first person I ever heard speak of him,
Keith, would you
our own,
pause this
oh
really
yeah,
quick?
Kenny Kirkpatrick here.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that. I'll back up here a little bit. I'm sorry we went so far.
No, it's all right.
Uh,
What picks do we have?
so we hit the big board. Oop. What
Oh, just go team picks.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Team
Oh, you're
picks.
good.
Team picks. Next one up is number 130.
Mm-hmm.
And we're currently, well, we're almost there. We're at 116.
What's the big board look like again?
And the big board currently Dylan Sampson, Shamara Turner, Gunnar Helm, Devin Neal, Jalen Reed, Braden Swinson, DJ Giddens.
I'm thinking
Jordan
moving up for a
James.
tight end. That's what I'm thinking about doing right now. Gunnar Helms right there. I mean, he's still sitting there. Let's
Gunnar
make
Helm with a rank of 85, and we're
yeah.
at pick 116.
Yeah, let's see if we can move up. Who is it now? The Dolphins picking?
Dolphins are picking, Colts are picking, Falcons, Bengals.
Titans may take them though. They need a tight end. Yeah, let's move up. Let's go get the guy. Let's go get Gunnar Helm.
Okay. Who do you want to trade with? Dolphins, Colts, Falcons, Bengals?
Let's just trade with the Dolphins.
Just do it right here. Oh,
yep.
Make a trade with the Miami Dolphins. 130, 116, I imagine, is our starting pieces.
And let's see if we can dip into next year's draft capital a little bit more. Maybe round 5. And then let's do it. Let's move up.
All right.
Gunnar
Trade
Helm
has been made, and Gunnar Helm is our pick. Got that tight end. That, man, lots and lots of weapons for Mr. Bo Nix, man.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like this is the Sean Payton draft board. I think right now, the one that everyone was thinking that Sean Payton would be doing, trading up, trading down, moving all over the board, making things happen. It'll be dang interesting if this is how it plays out, man. But Gunnar Helm, they're thinking long and hard about your Gunnar Helm pick there.
I know.
We're continuing to go along right after you, Jadon Blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's a name that the Broncos have been looking at. I've been looking at Jalen Reed, Barrett Carter, linebacker there to the Titans. Zy Alexander, David Walker, Shamar Turner, Jordan James, Braden Swinson, Khalil Mullings to the Rams. There goes Dylan Sampson.
Hunter.
Commanders, that would make sense. Maybe looking to upgrade. Saints get Will Howard.
Yeah.
Finally addressing that quarterback maybe for their room. Jordan Phillips, that's a name I kind of like. He's gone. Taj Brooks just went off the board.
Yeah, we have like
Jackson
one
Hawes.
pick, so
I gotta let this go out. I know. Ollie Gordon to the Panthers. LaQuint Allen to the Bears. They're stacking up in that running back room.
Man, I like LaQuint Allen.
Davion Jones, edge rusher to the Bengals.
Devin Neal
to the Packers. Yeah. Interesting. Cody Simon to the Eagles. Man.
Gaddison.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we moved up for the tight end, or we wouldn't have got him unless we took him earlier.
Yeah.
Or traded up, in round 5. But
ticking away. Malachi Moore.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players in the middle part of the draft.
Saints, that's a great pick for the Saints. Cam Jackson. They need to figure out what they're doing on defense, man. I'd love to look at the Saints draft board after this was done. See how they end up going. So you're finally back on the clock, man. Round 6, pick 197, our final pick. Anything that you're looking at in particular, my friend?
Let's best player available probably here. Not great. See, this is I kind of want to explain myself here too, Keith.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the reason I was so aggressive in the middle rounds, ladies and gentlemen, because later part of this draft, it's like, okay, few players, that could hit, but it's like, it's not great. I think, Keith, you can disagree with me or agree with me on this one, but I just think that the talent and the depth in this class is in the middle round. And that's when I was aggressive
Mm.
in doing so and making those trade up and getting it to tight end, being able to get the defensive lineman that you wanted. I wanted Tyler Williams, but I still ended up getting and addressing the defensive line. It's still a really good player.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I'll continue to scroll. You can look at some names if you need me to just say scroll up or scroll down or whatever you need me to do.
Yeah, scroll up a little bit, Keith, would you please?
I'll slowly scroll up and I'll make some comments here because I think you're fairly right. I think you're really trying to find some gems, in these later rounds. With us having three sixth round picks, I could definitely see some trading as far as that is concerned because it's going to be tough to find gems. I guess I'd rather take some surefire shots when it comes to you know in this draft and not rely on 3 sixth round picks.
Yeah,
Simple as
exactly.
that. I think it bears the idea of trading up and getting rid of one or two of those picks. So
Absolutely. I'm thinking developmental offensive lineman here. I don't know if
okay,
I'm crazy for thinking that, but I do like taking a developmental offensive lineman at this point, or taking, you can have special teams fine, and we'll look at the running back room as well and see kind of where that's at this point in time on the board. I like Holland Pierce a
probably
lot.
better might have some better opportunities at center guard. I don't know, wasn't sure because tackle sometimes
Yeah.
good talents can continue kind of disappear, kind of
Mhm.
quick. So when it comes to the tackle position, so
Yeah.
Willie Lampkin is the only name that really jumps off. Dylan Fairchild, maybe a little bit out of Georgia.
What's the
Um,
running backs look like, Keith, at this
if you
point?
were still wanting to look at that running back, Woody Marks.
Oh man,
Um, yeah,
not a lot.
they have they have. That's like the only. That's how short the list is, man. The
Yeah.
running backs are gone, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to get your running back, sooner rather than later. They're going to be gone. Um, and I'm not big on these wide receivers this late. Um,
Just thinking of also, maybe special teams
yeah,
possibilities, wide receiver, cornerback, something like that. A guy that maybe a linebacker, you know what I mean, that you could put into a special teams maybe situation. Just trying to
mhm,
think outside the
yeah.
box.
Well, and a lot of this is undrafted. Who are you going to be able to bring in undrafted? Because you got to
Yeah.
remember, shortly after the draft, they start working on undrafted free agents to bring in, and a lot of them. Keith, the Broncos had a lot of great, undrafted picks that they were able to sign. Chris Harris Jr. was an undrafted player that they ended up signing.
Mm.
So I mean, you can really hit on those gems. I still like taking a developmental offensive lineman here. Not sure the Broncos go in that direction, but I still think that's kind of something you got to look at. Or I'm looking to trade back probably here as well. That's probably on the board as well, just to kind of get some picks for next year again. I think I'm going to go with Fairchild here, Keith.
All right. I'm going to jump
Yeah.
out of that. Dylan Fairchild, Georgia product. Final player drafted. We'll go ahead and select this. We'll let this roll on out. The nice thing about this ESPN draft simulator that I really like, you'll see it at the very end, is it's going to go ahead and it's going to give you the likelihood they think that pick would be there for you, as well as the likelihood he'd be there for your next available pick. Kind of giving you a baseline of, how good did you do because you waited? Could you have waited on this player? I'll be honest. When I took my last draft here on the ESPN simulator, my last pick, they're like, yeah, you could have picked him up as an undrafted free agent. You probably
Yeah.
could have went a different direction there. And that I think that's fair to say, depending upon who you are as an evaluator on those seventh round picks, sixth
Mm-hmm.
round, late sixth round picks. You know what I mean? That could definitely go either direction.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
wish I could go this a little bit faster, but we did pick the slow, so we could go ahead and make sure that we didn't miss anything here. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope the chat wasn't too upset with some of my picks. I mean, I was, to be fair, chat, this is my first time seeing ESPN's mock draft simulator, so I didn't quite know how their rankings would be first just seeing it. But I still think, I mean, I think we had a heck of a draft. I mean, you're able to address needs on the defensive side of the ball and still get Bo Nix playmakers. I mean, I think if you are a big fan of getting Bo Nix playmakers, I think we established that very much so in this draft class.
All right, so here it is, man. Traded back, made a couple of different trades. So our first pick was the pick 28, picked up Travion Henderson. Chance available at that pick. They said there's a 98% chance he's available there at the 28th overall pick. They said the chance that you're available at your next overall pick, number 51, was only a 54% or 64% chance. Is that 54 or 64? I'm having a hard time reading that. Looks like 64. Jaden Higgins went wide receiver. 78% chance he's there, 47% chance he's not there at your next pick. Norman Lott, I'm sorry. Great pickup. Defensive tackle. They loved it. Again, 24% chance that he would be there next time and go around. And Demetrius Knight, another big one there, in my opinion. I think that's a great pickup. Gunnar Helm, Dylan Fairchild. How are you feeling about this draft, sir?
I think we addressed needs, and I think we got best players that we possibly can at those positions of needs. I mean, you're looking at, you're trying to address needs. Yeah, you want to go best player available, fine, that's great, but you want to get best, you want to be able to address positions. And I think with Gunnar Helm, I mean, he's a tight end that you can develop. Demetrius Knight is a linebacker that you can develop. You got Jaden Higgins, you got, a running back in Travion Henderson, in my opinion, is the second best running back in this draft class, and is actually not too far away from Ashton Genty, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy. I know people like Hampton at that point in time. I wouldn't be total against that, if he if he was available there at 28 when we traded back, but I still think we were able to trade back, get more assets, and add more playmakers, and assess more areas across the board. In my opinion. So I love Henderson there as well, Michael. I think it's a hell of a pick there. And you really did. You have your cream of the crop there, running back, if you're the Broncos at 28. I don't know if this is going to kind of, be the way the board falls, but, in the actual draft, I still think there might be 3 running backs, available. But
like it, buddy. Like it. You're getting some good reviews. Obviously, like you said, Michael coming in saying running back for him, Travion Henderson is number 1 over Arian Hampton. Judson coming in here as well, saying that's a pretty good draft, guys. And Kenny saying solid B+, moving down got you my A+ night. So yeah, like I said, Kenny Kirkpatrick was the first guy that I ever heard talk about this. Keith's draft's going to probably be a lot quicker. We'll go ahead and try to make this a little bit quicker since we're up against the clock. I did want to mention our amazing sponsor. That's Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets is your headquarters for all your Southwest jewelry, Southwest pottery, estate gold at wholesale prices, doing it for over 34 years. Now they're once a nationwide company. Now they're just in your backyard, Northern Colorado, Southern Wyoming, doing shows left, right, and otherwise. Check them out. If there's a gem mineral show, just about dog show in the area, they're probably hanging out and showing their wares and selling their wares. But if not, you can head on over to Etsy. Type in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. Bam, you're right there looking at all the treasures, including silver, sterling silver, 100% sterling silver. All orders over $50 shipped absolutely free. All major credit cards are accepted. Check out Morgan Trinkets today. That's Morgan Trinkets or Morgan Trinkets Co. over on Etsy. And check them out. Pearl's usually in here. They usually drop if they're doing a show. And check them out if they're in a show in your area. Last time, I think it was Golden, Colorado, if I remember correctly. Good draft, Trevor. B+, says Fister Phil McLaughlin. All right. We're going to reset this. We're going to get Keith on the clock. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to, make this just a little bit quicker. Maybe not do as many trades. We'll see exactly how it shakes out. I'll probably be looking mainly in that first round, see the board starts shaking out, and kind of go from there. So we're going to go ahead and load up this draft, get it all ready to go. Keith's on the clock. I'm going to see if I can beat a lot of B+, Trevor. How you feeling about your B+ type of grades out there? You're giving yourself a B+, A-, C+? How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, for me, yeah, it's probably right around that range. I mean, the only regret I would have is Tyreek Williams. I wanted him there. I was like, it was between him and Jaden Higgins. I think Jaden Higgins is a really good wide receiver, and this guy might have an opportunity to move up late into the first round if the team really falls in love with him. When he was there, I just had to take him, and but I think we had a lot of needs and were aggressive when we needed to be.
Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. Congratulations to Kenny and his Giants getting Travis Hunter. I think that's a great pickup right here as we kind of roll through this board. Ashton Genty goes quick to the Jaguars. Shador Sanders to the Raiders. Man, finding their backup already. Will Campbell's off the board. The Saints, Jihad Campbell, Jalen Walker, Will Johnson. I'm probably going to let it go. Oh, Ted McMillan to the Colts.
Wow.
So my wide receiver is gone. The Falcons, they're all about loading up as far as ESPN is considered, man. They're ready to move on from Kyle Pitts, I guess, because Colston Loveland's their pick, man. That's crazy. Omari and Hampton off the board.
Wow.
Already. So I'm going to take a look back here real quick. Nick Amanawore is gone. Jade Barron is gone. And the Broncos, I let it go all the way down to number 20. I'm going to take a look at the board here real quick and see what they like. Michael Williams, edge rusher. James Pierce, edge rusher. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher. Defensive tackle, Derek Harmon. Walter Nolan, Maxwell Harrison. Man, you can tell a lot of the running backs obviously off the board in comparison to what you had. Travion Henderson is in there. Emeka Ibuka is there. Kenneth Grant, Trey Amos, Malachi Starks. I want to take a look at the board just really quick. Like I said, maybe some trades here. Steelers, Chargers, Packers, Vikings, Texans, Rams. Look at my board again. Steelers, Packers, Chargers. I just want to get an idea of who might be there, who might trade, take who where. I'm going to try a trade back. Why don't we ring up the Vikings on this one? I'm going to see if I can trade back, maybe get a little bit of value here and not take a pick off the board. Obviously 20 and 24, we're at sweeten the pot there, Vikings. Would you do it for 139 and pick up another pick right there? Yes, they say. I imagine. Ooh, would they do it for 97?
Wow.
How realistic do you think picking up a second round, or I guess that's a third round pick? Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a pretty good value. I mean, and you're trading up for an edge rusher. More than likely, that's probably what they're trading up for. So that's premium. It's a premium position. You got to pay a premium price, in my opinion.
I want to go ahead and I want to make this trade. I'm going to go ahead and make this trade, move back just a little bit. Vikings accept my trade. I think that's a great trade partner. And I'll jump out of here real quick. They end up getting Kenneth Grant. They're at 20. Mike Green, edge rusher. Michael Williams, edge rusher. Derek Harmon. Now, that's the guy that I was kind of hoping would maybe still be there. I'll be 100% honest. So that's a dagger right there. He went one pick before I really wanted him to go. I'm going to go a little off the board here, man, because I want to go ahead and I think this is a deeper draft in running back than most people think. I know that Omari and Hampton is already gone, and I'm maybe playing with a little bit of fire, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at my wide receivers instead of looking at running back. Emeka Ibuka I like a lot. And I'll be honest, that's probably my favorite name out of the top 4 or 5 there. I'm going to take a look at tight end real quick. Mason Taylor staring me there in the face. Now, that's a name that I just don't think is going to be hanging out there.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and get that Mason Taylor and get that prospect. I'm going to hope that I can still pick up a good running back in the mid rounds. But I think there's only a few tight ends. I'm going to look one other thing before I go Defensive tackle, just see. Yeah, oh man, there's already been a huge run on defensive tackle. Yep. Going back to tight end, Mason Taylor is going to be my pick, man. Draft the player, Mason Taylor, draft. There it is, man. Drafting the player. What do you think, man? I'd like to get Posse and thoughts in there. Getting Mason Taylor there later in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like trading back if you're going to go in that direction, get more value, I mean, you add another day 2 pick and you're able to get the tight end of the future. You hope is the future. I like Mason Taylor a lot, Keith. I really do. And I don't mind this at all because you were able to move back, get value, and still get the tight end of the future that you're hoping is the future of this team. And I think, in my opinion, he's arguably right up there with, I think, Colson Loveland for being tight end 2 in this draft class. Most people have him as tight end 3, but man, he's a really all-around, complete tight end prospect, in my opinion, and very intriguing.
All right. Next pick is at number 51 still. We're about 10 picks away. I'm just going to take a quick peek at the big board. Travion Henderson's still there. And the Bears are picking. Bears. Yeah, I'm gonna let it run. I might be playing with fire here, I'll be honest. Jalen Newell, Alfred Collins. Oh, I maybe should have traded with the 49ers. See if the Cowboys do here. Oh, I'm playing with fire, and I'm rolling it, man. I'm rolling it at this point.
You're going to get it, too.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get Travion Henderson here. Wow. And this is a guy that I think that I might have even picked up there at the 20th pick if it was still sitting there. Yeah, nothing there really for linebacker that would make me change my mind. Cornerback. We've missed our run, I think, already on cornerback, if that's really what the direction we wanted to go. So running back it is. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get Travion Henderson to add next to Colston Loveland, and I'm liking my draft so far. Posse, I hope you're liking it as well.
Mason Taylor, actually, not Colston Loveland.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mason Taylor. Oops. Taylor is a great young bloodline and running back, says Paul Schaefer. Jump back over to my draft and pause it here real quick, see where we're at. Haven't went too far. Trey Harris, Isaiah Bond, TJ Sanders, a guy I like on the interior defensive line. He ends up going to the Panthers on this one as we continue through. Almost hit the cancel draft. Next pick still got a ways at 85. So I'm going to let this run a little bit. I'm not going to be this aggressive to be trading up this early into round 2, obviously. And let this run out just a little bit.
Tyleik Williams off the board. There we go.
Yeah, there's your Tyleik Williams. You love Tyleik Williams. It'll be interesting to see.
I do.
Well, now I'm only about 10 picks away. I'll look at the big board, see who is left. Still some good names as far as running backs are concerned. Caleb Johnson and Cam Scatabo, a lot of people love. I'm going to take a look at that wide receiver position. I don't want it to get out of mind, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already looking a little bit scary, but still some options there, not the greatest options. That defensive tackle, if there's anybody still left, there's still some names I still like there. I'm going to go ahead and I'll let this roll. It might be defensive tackle time when we head back for the Broncos. So Quinn Ewers to the 49ers.
Wow.
Maybe some changes happen in there, and
Caleb Johnson just went.
San Francisco. Yeah, Caleb Johnson just went. I'm going to go back to that defensive tackle. Take a look at what we got there. Omar Norman Lott, Jordan Phillips. I really like Jordan Phillips. CJ West a little bit later I like as well. Big board. We'll just take a quick look here, everybody. Jalen Royals. Terrence Ferguson, but I already went and got that tight end. Shamar Turner, though. He's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they have him ranked overall? I like him better than Omar Norman Lott, I'll be honest. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get that defensive tackle on the inside. Get a guy, get that rotational guy, And again, we got to start looking at making sure that we have a good, strong inside base that can maybe stop the run here. And I think that's a place that we can do it. So back on the clock already, man. I got to take a look at that wide receiver because I was looking at that before. Where are we at? We're at 97. We're going to start getting a little thin if we don't pick up a wide receiver here soon. That's a place that I really like. Savion Williams is an interesting cat, and he could certainly play that Joker type of role. I just don't know if I rank him all the way up this high, and I'd like to see him slip a little bit further. What does my picks look like at this point? 97, 122 after this. Big board says Jalen Lane. Oh, I'm just looking at wide. Oh no, I'm looking at. They're saying wide receiver is a big possibility here. No, it's that. Yeah,
that's your wide receivers. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, they like a lot of wide receivers right about now. And Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh man, I am perplexed here. I already. Ooh, you know what? Have I looked at linebacker in a while? There we go. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. We did it before. We'll do it again. Demetrius Knight. That's my easy pick right here, and I'm going to hope that some of those others. Though I do like Barrett Carter. Do like Chris Paul Jr. Those are a couple of the names I want to be looking at if I didn't go this direction. But look at that wide receiver run right there, man. I'm going to let this run out. I'm probably not going to do any more trades. I'll just go ahead and let this kind of run, not get too crazy, and wrap this night up. I know it's a longer night. We're not too far past, but I'll pause just for a second to see. Again, we're at 122. We're almost there, man, at this point. Yeah. So continue the draft and basically see where we plop in. All right. First off, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to take a look at my team picks. We went Mason Taylor, Travion Henderson, Shamar Stewart,
Smart Turner.
I'm sorry. Smart Turner, Demetrius Knight, full day of work, doing mock drafts. We've only got 4 more picks left in this draft. I would love to get a wide receiver here, so I got to take a look and see what's still available for me now that all those guys took a big long run there.
It's got pretty thin there.
I kind of ruined my chances to get a true standout, I think, as far as wide receiver is concerned. Might have shot myself on the foot there, ladies and gentlemen. Cornerback, Quinston Riley, Upton Stout. I like him. Ooh, Kobe Bryant. That's an interesting name if he were to look at cornerback at this juncture. What if we did the double dip on running back that everyone is talking about? Now, there's a couple of great names. Devin Neal, DJ Giddens. And you know what? I'll go ahead. I'm going to double dip here. Give ourselves a couple of opportunities. Before I do that, I'll just look at big boards one more time. DJ Giddens, Jordan James. I love RJ Harvey, but I think this is way too soon for him. Might have some linebacker opportunities a little bit later. All right. Yep. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. Devin Neal, Kansas player. This is a guy that I think could be a 3-down back possibility and gives you great opportunities as far as hands out of the backfield. Probably needs to shore up a little bit as far as that 3rd down run blocking capability. But Devin Neal is a great pick in my opinion.
Yeah, I like DJ Giddens. Yeah, I like DJ Giddens a lot too. I mean, I think you can go either way there. Running backs are still on the board there. Round 4. I mean, you're talking about probably Esteban and some of these other running backs currently on the Broncos probably really kind of fighting for the job. Looks like Quint Allen went there. I like him a lot there too. A lot of running back talent in this draft class, of course, especially in the middle rounds. Yeah,
big run in the 4th as far as some of that running back talent. It's just seen that going. Ollie Gordon in the 5th. He ends up slipping.
Yeah.
DJ Giddens, there's your guy, also going in the 5th. Deion Walker, gone. So,
Fairchild gone too.
yeah. Kyle
Cincinnati.
McCord to the Giants. Look out. Future quarterback Kyle McCord to the Giants.
I want to ask you this question really quick.
Yeah.
At what point in time do you start thinking maybe edge rusher in this draft?
Well, the problem is, I think that's one of those premier talent type of positions. So trying to find a diamond in the rough later, I think it's really tough. It's like trying to find a diamond in the rough cornerback. You know what I mean? It's really tough. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be tough. It'll
Mhm.
be. I think it's tough to try to find those guys, but I know what you're talking about as far as addressing it. I think you could end up addressing it, sooner rather than later. So, I wouldn't be opposed to that, I guess you could say. So, we're here in round 6. I don't know if it's even worth looking at who went last or who's, you know, or anything like that. Man, before this free agency started, I really liked Sebastian Castro as far as a safety possibility. Upton Stout, West Kentucky cornerback is a guy I kind of like as well. Just meant Woody Marks if you wanted to go deep into the running back. Jadon Blue, a guy that we brought in on a visit as well. Cody Lindenberg, I'm surprised more people aren't higher on him. But whew, it's getting a little bit rough here in the 6th round. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. That developmental piece, maybe in a Drew Kendall out of Boston College, if you're looking for offensive line. Shamar James. Boy, it's slim pickings already, man. Just look through some names. Luke.
And you have 3 6-round picks still, right? I don't believe you traded
Yeah,
him
yeah, yeah.
away.
I didn't take my own advice, man, and say that I should trade out of this position. I'm stuck here. Um, Tyler Batty, not bad out of BYU. If you want to take a flyer on an edge late,
Mhm.
wide receiver, I should look. Arian Smith isn't bad out of Georgia, and I might Daquan Felton out of Virginia Tech, not bad. I know I haven't went this way. Nick Nash out of San Jose State, I think could be a light flyer. I'm going to go Arian Smith here. Georgia, try to continue on that wide receiver, loading up the talent, and maybe just possibly getting somebody there in the special team. Sorry, man. Late night, man. I'm feeling it now. I better just start making some picks and calling it a
It's
night.
it's tough. I mean, because really, I mean, especially if you're a GM, or head coach and just front office personnel, just in general, you're really just
Mhm.
kind of trying to find either diamonds in a rough or trying to find special teamers at this point in time. It's not easy because a lot of the times you're probably going not just traits, but you're going best athlete available as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Jadon Blue possibility. I really like Jadon Blue. I wish he didn't have maybe some of the fumbling issues that he had. Defensive tackle looking pretty thin there. Linebacker. I mentioned it before. Cody Lindenberg is a guy that I think is got possibilities, both special team, but I think is underrated as far as a linebacker is concerned. So I'll go ahead and take Cody Lindenberg here. I'm going to get some bad grades late in this draft, is my guess. You did the right thing, I think, of my friend, by trading up. Um, all right. Shamar James isn't a bad thought right here. Tight ends.
Gaston's good too.
Yeah,
Double dip tight end.
could do that. That's not a bad flyer on a tight end, but talk about developmental, in my opinion, too. Wide receiver, Isaac Teaslaw, Nick Nash. Safety. Whew. It is
Thin.
slim pickings. Yeah, if there was anybody left that was good at cornerback, I'd be worried. Oh boy. Hmm. Yep, I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it now.
Holland Pierce, good developmental tackle. I was really thinking about
Yeah,
taking him later. He's huge, got big size, and a really good athlete. Just needs time to develop.
you might have nailed it, man. Because outside of Willie Lampkins, which I like as well, they have rated way too far down in my opinion. But got to worry about that. I'll go ahead. I'll go Holland Pierce, man. Thanks for helping me out as I'm getting through my draft board late on a Friday night. And thanks for everybody that's joining us, hanging in there as Keith goes through his draft board. I think we should kind of blame Trevor for taking up a tremendous amount of time, doing lots of trades. Want me to look at every pick. I should have traded out of all these 6th round picks. Probably packaged them all up to see what I could get and who would be willing. But also want to keep in mind that well, time's about ticking, and bedtime's probably calling for a few of us. Thanks everybody who's joined in, hung with us. Love it, love it. Love all the love all the love that we're getting here in the chat. I didn't see that I was able to pick up any special teamers, so didn't end up going that way. Judson, thanks for hanging out. Paul was looking for Tez. And Judson saying that Tez would be gone in one big hit. Tez is really good, but tiny. Baby Cheetah, he's saying. One of the things that I really like it would be to find a guy like that. Xavier Worthy, I think, was a great example last year of a guy that flew out the boards, end up going to the Chiefs, and then you're wondering, hey, how good is he going to be, especially when he ends up on a team like that. So here we are, man. This is what I came out the gate swinging. I feel Mason Taylor at the 24th pick as I end up trading back. I end up sitting there in round 2 and picking up Travion Henderson. They loved it. 54% chance and a less than 5% chance he would be there if I waited to the number 85 pick overall. Shamar Turner, defensive tackle, trying to bolster that interior of the defensive line, and then getting that second, third round pick. I end up picking up Demetrius Knight, Kenny Kirkpatrick's favorite. Double dipping on the running back, Devin Neal. I was feeling pretty good at this point, but then all of a sudden, man, it started hitting all those 6th round picks. Arian Smith, Georgia wide receiver product, maybe a flyer there. Might have a hard time breaking onto this roster now that I look back at it. Cody Lindenberg, linebacker out of Minnesota. I like the guy. I think he has a lot of opportunity. May not be the fastest guy in space, but at the same time, a downhill guy that could certainly help plug the gaps. And then Holland Pierce coming off the recommendation of my good friend as a developmental piece on the offensive line. Trevor, how do you feel about my draft overall?
I mean, I think that I will say the one thing that I would be a little bit more critical on, Keith, is the wide receivers. I don't think that I think if you're Sean Payton, you love wide receivers. This would be the draft that you would pass on those wide receivers that are available. But I think overall, I really like what you did at the running back position, defensive tackle as well. I like Turner, but if Tyler Williams is there, man, he's my favorite guy. I know you wanted Harmon. You were eyeing defensive tackle early. It just ended up slipping him up to be a tight end, a guy like Mason Taylor. I like Mason Taylor a lot. I actually really do, especially moving back, being able to move back, get that value, get a guy like Mason Taylor, a tight end that you can develop, and a guy that can do a little bit of everything. Really, I mean, comes from a football background. I mean, just like Bo Nix. So I really like those picks that you made. I just think that wide receiver maybe a little bit higher would have been something that I'm sure you as well would have wanted in this draft.
Yeah, you took all my time. We're like an hour, 20 minutes into this draft podcast. I might have went a little bit quicker than I would have wanted. Like I said, I probably would have packaged up some of those 6th-round picks or figured out something there to move up. Phil McLaughlin, giving me love while also giving me criticism. 100 stars says, sorry, Keith C, you should have traded sooner. Yeah, I should have traded sooner. I should have not let it run. Judson, thank you so much. He says they're coming in saying thank you, guys. Michael just reminding us that Denver Broncos find undrafted free agent players after the NFL draft, and they've been doing a great job as far as what they've put on the roster in these last couple of years from the undrafted free agency pool. I'll take my C, Phil. I would definitely look at this draft differently in retrospect. I'm glad I'm not the only guy in the room making all the calls, and I'm glad that the clock isn't as fast as what I made it on myself. Fun draft, guys. Thanks for a great show. Stop teasing Trevor.
Thanks, Phil. Phil's on my side.
Phil's on your side. This was awesome. Go Broncos country only, says Ernie Mays. Go Broncos country only, no matter who we take, says Karen. Thank you, Karen, so much. Keith, are you plugging the draft show? Well, thank you, Kenny, man. I went too long. It's long in the show. But yes, we are plugging the draft show. We did it early, and I don't have the trailer set up, but please, if you get a chance, head on over to our Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page. You can check it out there. Got a great little trailer. I will tell you this. We're going to have some giveaways. One of the giveaways, no one mentioned my backwards hat. I'll turn it around here for you. Maybe, just maybe, we can give away some Denver Bronco Roundup hats for you all on the show. Maybe those will be going out. Hope you like those. We'll be giving away a few. Anything that's left over, maybe we put it up for purchase as well. How about a Troy Franklin, Audric Estime signed football card? That might be nice. But I think the cream of the crop for all of you who have stuck around is on order, in shipping, en route, hopefully, is a Bo Nix autographed jersey. We're going to talk about how you can win that during our 3 full days of coverage, man. I can't wait for it. So hopefully you like the lineup of prizes. That's just a smidge of what we have lined up for you. I can't wait to get to it all. But that Bo Nix autographed jersey, that's going to be going into the hands of one of the Posse members, and I can't wait to ship it out. So, Trevor, we got to get to some final thoughts. You can give some final thoughts around your draft, about the upcoming draft, about our draft show, about everything that's going on, as we're only 6 days away, but it's time to wrap it up, sir. Great night, man. I appreciate it all.
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. It was a little bit longer. We went overtime, but it was absolutely worth it. I mean, I love doing these mock drafts. I could do them all day and every day, just seeing how different scenarios, pan out. But yeah, I mean, Keith, I think, awesome job tonight with the draft, and Posse. Thank you guys for, ladies and gentlemen, for coming in and commenting and giving us your grades. I think, Keith, hopefully we'll be able to post this on Facebook so everybody can see it, all of our draft names we have up there, and give us that grade if you haven't yet. We love to see it, and we love doing these for you guys. Can't wait to do the draft next week. 3 full days of coverage. It's gonna be a grind, but I would do it all for you all, and really happy that everybody's here to support us. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, because you don't want to miss me, Keith, Kenny, Jody, our special guests, all our amazing prizes we have. Thank you, everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Easter as well. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Go Broncos.
Absolutely, man. Go Broncos. Appreciate you, Trevor, man. I got to give it to you. Better draft than me. I'm a little bit nervous to put my grades out there. If we put it out there on the social media, if we put all our draft picks out there, we can certainly do so. Maybe we get a little graphic out there and see if everybody wants to rank our drafts. I'm just worried about my D- grade I'm going to get from a few of our Broncos fans, maybe. It's funny. You were talking about everything that we got going on for this draft show coming up, man. And once again, man, those nerves just started flip-flopping in my stomach, man. I am so excited. I'm so anticipatory. I don't know where the Broncos are going to go. There's so many different directions. We're going to have this fantastic show lined up. Like you said, it's going to be the Rocket Man. It's going to be the Judge. We're going to have Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. We're going to have amazing guests. We're going to have great giveaways. Like I said, that Bo Nix autographed jersey is going to be the highlight. Can't wait to ship that one out. But lots and lots and lots of prizes to give away. And just overall fantastic analysis, man. Trevor's been doing his homework. Kenny puts in hours of work. The Judge, man, coming in. He's been watching college football like nobody else and knows these guys inside and out from watching them all season long. I'm going to try to give my 2 cents and get a better grade than what I did on my draft this evening on my overall takes. But I can't wait to bring you all along for the ride. Hope that it can join with us. Again, 3 full days, man. So we got you covered from round 1 to round 7. Going to have a little bit of a pre-draft show as well. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to get you guys in here and talking football with all of us. But again, thanks to our sponsor, Morgan Trinkets, sponsoring the show week after week. Speaking of which, we go live every Tuesday, every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We do appreciate every like, share, subscribe. And hey, if you really want to, tag a friend. I would love that if we could tag some friends out there, tell them all about the Denver Bronco Roundup, make sure that they know about it as well. Don't forget, we'll go be doing our special, again, draft coverage as well. So we've only got one more show before that. Man, what else am I missing? Anything before we get out of here, Trevor? I feel like I'm missing something.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter, everyone. You could say happy Easter. Yeah, happy Easter. Be safe out there. Hope little Peter Cottontail comes hopping down your bunny trail, leaving little baskets of joy for all my little boys and girls out there. Can't wait to hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. I enjoyed the evening, and we'll be back soon, man. It's going to be Tuesday before we know it, and then on to the NFL draft. But we get out of here one way only. Make sure you keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course the Denver Broncos in your heart. Till next time, have a great weekend, everybody, and happy Easter.